My liege, let it be known that we have achieved great victory over the enemy in thy name. The French were vast in number when our scouts first brought word of their approach, and their cavalry was fearsome. Yet the craven king does not command the same respect as our men fighting for our own lands have for us. We chose the field of battle in the hills surrounding Clermont-sur-Allier Castle. The terrain would disadvantage the cavalry, which they had 3 times the number of ours, and allow our stout infantry to hold the line till the end. The battle was fierce but short. The commanders of the approaching armies seemed not in agreement, and their companies moved to and fro, looking for a breach in our defenses, only to have arrows sent their way on every failed attempt. The attack turned into a retreat, then a rout, as our lines opened and our own cavalry thundered down the hills. We counted 3,000 of theirs that day who would not return, including many seasoned soldiers. The French have been decisively defeated on the field of battle, yet they do not yield unless we can take the castles and crush any hope the nobles have remaining. So once more, we are besieging Thiers, the castle, and the French army has been decisively defeated. House Bourgogne will have to rebuild from the beginning. They have lost against the Al-Andalusian conquest as well, and by the looks of it, the Crusade is not going anywhere, while the Byzantine Empire is under threat from the north, and the world is once again an unsafe place. And Toulouse, our own kingdom, stands tall as a beacon in the darkness. If we're looking at development, yeah, you see that here. That's what I call a beacon in the darkness. But this will be for a later task. For now, King Enric of Toulouse has to secure his own legitimacy, because he is being doubted, and that is something we'll need to do something about. But we are so far have been under the leadership of his uncle quite successful. We've run some to the last remaining enemy nobles, and with that, I think we are. We're just going to have to get through the sieges, and then see if the French will will surrender, or if they send more troops in vain attempts at trying to defeat us. Our priest has died, the bishop, and the church has sent a new archbishop, who is not a great man. We quickly realized that clearly the Holy See is punishing us and sending one of their most inept members to become to be the bishop. There's not much we can do about this, unfortunately. So we will have to live with him as it stands. But not much else we can do. How is the murder scheme going on? They're still not getting anywhere, so I don't see a reason to do anything else to upset the court. For the time being, we'll just wait for the siege of Thiers to complete. Count Philippe of Sancerre is once again sending his men to the slaughter. He cannot take a hint, but he is trying to relieve the siege on his own. Meanwhile, we are yet once again invited to a hunt by Count Guillaume of Uzès. Now, Count Guillaume of Uzès is not particularly fond of us, so it would be an opportunity to improve our relations with him. However, the risk remains that there is some nefarious thought going on here. But I think it would be cowardice. It would be cowardice of us to reject that. So we shall not, and we shall instead join his hunt. But we do once again have to avoid the counties in the center, because of the opinion of my uncle of me, who is not particularly good, and Instead, we're going to move through the northern lands. All right, join the hunt while the army is about the battle is about to be joined in the north. Here we are going yet on another hunt. And as we walk through the streets of Montauban, there is a loud ruckus by one of the market stalls, with two men yelling at one another. Before we can make our way there, a man has already stepped in between and talked them down. "See, it will be fine," he tells the man in the stall with a smile and hands him a coin. And with that simple act of kind generosity, everything returns to normalcy. He turns to us as we approach, no banner or mark telling me of any liege lord, perhaps a wandering knight. Who do we have here? We've got Dondon de Poissy, who is not the greatest, but he is a just and generous man. So we could do we want him on our court? With 11 prowess, not particularly. His diplomacy is not bad though, but we may have to replace. Do we have anybody else who is capable? Takov is our steward. At Count Guillaume, we could get him on. We have a few people. Still, his diplomacy is not bad. So I think we'll invite him to our court, and we'll see if we can find a position for him if it comes to it. Meanwhile, battle has been joined and completed very quickly, where we have no losses of our own, and Count Philippe of Sancerre has led his men once more to the slaughter. The siege continues. There are 45 days left, and we are moving towards the hunt in the east. But I will keep my things close to my chest in case there's any nefarious dealings going on. As we travel through the forest of Gévaudan, a hospice covered in beautiful Toulousian art appears along the roadside. "Travelers, you look weary. Our doors are open for rest and care," a physician offers with a gentle smile. Inside, the air is calm, filled with a soothing aroma of herbs. "Here, try my famed decoction of foxglove. It will reinvigorate your soul." That has a 1% chance of me dying. Instead, we could ask him. He is a physician, and he is very righteous. Okay, so what do we got? We could get invigorated, small health boost. There is a 1% chance, however, that this doesn't end up well. We could hire him and replace Oda, but that would cost us quite a bit in prestige. How is Oda doing? She is infirm and is ailing, so that obviously impacts her ability and it would make her very unhappy. She is my mother-in-law, so I will not be doing that to her. Alternatively, we could give them some coin, and that would give Gévaudan some plague resistance for well-funded hospices. I think in the end we'll try the decoction or give them some coin. It's a 99% chance. It'll be fine. Okay, so I have gotten the invigorated trait, and the siege is about to complete. I will not be assaulting the fort. It will just cause too many casualties. And we have nothing to fear from the French anymore at this point. Okay, no immediate effects, and the hunt is about to begin, probably before the siege has ended, and we'll just keep an eye on things. So what are we hunting today? Stag. Let's get out of there and see if we can hunt stag while the siege is. They have desertions already, and the siege is about to complete. And just as my acquaintance Pierre Raymond of Montpellier starts to dismount, legs still dangling from the saddle, my traitorous vassal Count Jourdain makes sure to bump into his horse, sending him tumbling to the ground. Oh dear, yeah, Count Jourdain. We will. Yes, we will gain mediator. This is no way for a count to act. Behave yourself. All right, Thwadomir has died of old age, and my master of the horse, and one of the accolades has now been passed to Bernard Ezi. And we are occupying a Thiers, which means we are now moving over towards Auvergne. The war, holding objectives is going to hopefully convince the French that they will eventually have to abandon this conflict. We captured anybody? No, but we do need a new master of the horse. I'm pretty sure we have many of them. Gonzelin, we have one of our knights, a rational gentleman. We shall appoint him as our master of the horse. And we have to, which one is it? Sword of the Plains. We have to appoint a successor. We can't because they're all, all possible successors are not actually serving as knights. Why is he not serving a knight at 30 prowess? Not entirely certain. He should be a knight. I don't see why he isn't. Okay, there we go. So he is a knight now. And okay, for some reason, he was not counted as a knight. All right, let's see. So that should allow me to appoint. There we go, Ogier, our knight. We don't actually have. Okay, so there's a slight problem here with the. Let's see what. So we need stalwart and valiant. Stalwart. What does it require? Doesn't actually tell me, unfortunately, what the requirements are. So he only fulfills the primary attribute. But since I don't... okay, so Valiant, Prowess 8 or above, but not the Stalwart. So I don't know what the requirements for Stalwart are, unfortunately. I can't find that out easily. Which means that okay, it'll have increased glory loss, but we don't have anybody else to get into that role. Well, maybe we'll hold back for now and see if we can find somebody. I'll have to look up what the requirements are. Find somebody who's both valiant and stalwart. Yeah, we'll deal with that situation when we get back. For now, the huntsmen have pointed out a secluded clearing downwind of the beast's covered, a perfect place to form our bowline and wait the stag driven thither by the hound teams. Okay, our host thinks for a moment before nodding. Yes, we shall have a little ambuscade. Okay. Then we will be doing that. Meanwhile, the army, no enemy armies in sight, and the armies are moving towards the next siege. Our plans were for naught. The beast sensed our trap by wind or connivance and refused to be led into our ambush by the flushers. At last it slipped through their clutches entirely, disappearing into the valleys. Clever thing. Well, the success chance was never particularly great. Well, it is what it is, and we gained some experience, and we will leave this adventure behind for now. But I have gained some legitimacy and some trade experience, so not bad overall. Let's finish the hunt and return back. What keeps popping up here? Yeah, the successor is missing. So what happens if Pierre Bernard of Carcassonne dies? Then we will lose land. How is that the case? So let's have a look at his. His inheritance. His primary heir is his son, who is a vassal of the King of France, the Duke of Champagne. How did that come to pass? Well, that's no good. because he has no further sons. He only has daughters. And his son, the treacherous Lucky, has become the Duke of Champagne. So he would inherit the titles. That is unfortunate, which means that the whole of Carcassonne is going to leave our realm. That is something we'll have to do something about. So I don't like him anyway. Can we revoke his titles for... it is an act of tyranny, however. We cannot easily revoke his titles. What else can we do with him? I don't think there's much else that we can really do with him. We cannot imprison him. We could accuse him of violating sumptuary law, attacking them for crime against fashion. Okay, that would be an interesting stewardship debate. I might be able to win that. So, well, we'll see what we can do about this. But this is indeed a bit of an issue, and definitely not. I mean, for now he's feeling fine, so it's not a situation that we need to deal with immediately, but we may have to eventually. And my queen is with child. I cannot wait for my own heir or heiress to be born, indeed. Meanwhile, the siege of Calais has begun, and the French have begun remustering their troops, but it will still be a while until they can give battle again, and hopefully we can complete the siege and get the terrain of objectives under our control. And then it will eventually lead to victory against France. Meanwhile, my mother-in-law has passed away, but at least she hasn't quite seen her grandchild, but at least she has still seen her daughter with child. So that is excellent. Now, do we have a good personal physician? We do not. Do we have an antiquarian? We do not either. So we need a learned man or woman that we can find to replace these once we get back home, because that is a very important position, especially that plagues are ravaging the lands in the north. To make my cousin Count Borel more susceptible to my attempts at approaching him, I can include any compliment in the next missive to his court. We could mention his youthful vigor, but that would be a bit flattering, or keep it short and professional. We will attempt and see if we can... okay, that works. He has gained some respect for us, and with that we are returning. We have returned back home, and we have many things to sort out while the siege is continuing. We do have the stalwart leader. We're going to definitely taking that, and we'll be going down the chivalry tree for a bit, but then probably switching once again to stewardship to deal with the other situation. Siege of Calais is progressing. However, the King of France is once again rebuilding his armies, and we will see if they... And he does seem to be managing his expenses. So we'll see if they come around again for another assault. We could hold court, which I think is something we need to do sooner rather than later, because this war is still going to go on for a while. We do have the coin for it at the moment, so I think this is not a bad decision. So now that we have returned, we have many things to sort out. We have a new personal physician, Ulrike, who has joined our court, who is a bit melancholic, but she is a renowned physician, and as such, she shall be appointed. And she can also take on the position of the antiquarian that we generally have appointed at this point. I'm going to now we'll just do the improve of artifacts. All right, what else has happened? We have to hold court, and probably a few other things to sort out in our court here locally. Once again, we're holding court to hear the petitioners, and we'll gesture to the first in line to approach. We will see what they want. Count Borel approaches me. I come with grave news, but with a solution to fix this problem. It's becoming increasingly clear that the Occitans and Toulousians are becoming more, perhaps even too similar. It's paramount that we show them that it's us, Toulousians, who are the forefront of innovation. Now we all have to live with each other, really. So we could host a festival to celebrate our Toulousian culture. That would reduce the cultural acceptance. Or we could arrange for an exhibit to show off our grandest accomplishments. Now we are trying to convert people to the Toulousian culture, so or we could tell them to sort of. But we are trying to improve our standing with Count Borel at this point, who is my cousin. So I think we're going for the middle ground, exhibit to show off our grandest accomplishments. A middle-aged man steps before me with quiet dignity before bowing deeply. Greetings, Your Majesty. I am Laurent, your loyal servant. I come before you today to seek employment in your court. I am an experienced fighter, having served the local lords and garrisons of Carcassonne, my homeland. It would be my honor to put my talents to a greater cause in the service of the king. Laurent, my friend, he is an opportunist. He is a bit having a problem with eating, but he is a battle-hardened knight. So I could appoint him as executioner, as court poet, or as court musicians. No, neither of these things. As a knight, maybe yes, but I don't think we want an executioner. We are trying to build a more just world, and he's not very good at poetry. Now, I wouldn't mind having him at court with 18 prowess, but yeah, there are no vacancies at this point. I am faced with Roger de Villeron's sad eyes, which grow larger and more pitiful as his fellow vassal Bernard gently ushers him towards my throne. King, he laments, the boy has been at your court with no one to watch over him since the disappearance of his dear papa. Please look to his future. Also, he was actually the ward of the old count, of my uncle. I didn't even know that. I'm not going to raise him myself because my wife's pregnant, but I think the Queen Mother can do that. Yes, there we go. We could ask him to. we could get the Archbishop to pay us coin for that, but that's not happening. No, the Queen Mother is going to do that. And with that, my business here is done, which has gained us some legitimacy. And we're not quite there yet, but almost. Right, so back to matters at hand. There's still a fair few things that need to be looked at. We still have to appoint a worthy successor for the Sword of the Plains. We have the problem of Count Pierre Bernat's lack of sons that could inherit his titles. And we have potentially, and we still have a war to win, where the enemy still is building up his forces as we speak. So it's the war is by far not yet over. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Count Ogier, Duke Ogier, to organize the army, which is going to get us better income. And hopefully, and this should allow us to begin employing some pikemen. So where we have, we do have to be a little careful with our expenses here. But if we can get at least 300 pikemen once they're trained, and then we can raise them as well and have them join the army. That should give us a bit of a better chance against the enemy cavalry. So the war is not yet over, and things at home are still needing my management, but we are getting there. And hopefully, once Auvergne has been completely liberated against the King of France and his allies, then yeah, he does have some alliances that he can still call in. So yeah, a fair few actually. So he has while the troops have lost, the French troops have lost. He has forged some alliances that, shrewd and cowardly as he is, that might get foreigners to fight his wars for him. So these battles are far from over, and we still have a ways to go to make this a reality.